Hello, everyone. I think we're letting you in, right, Michaela? Yep. Great. Welcome
Everybody's
to,
coming.
perfect. Welcome to Communication Access Connect, our February session. And today we're going to be talking about my voice, my choice. So we're going to let everybody get in and then I'll introduce ourselves and our panel of speakers. Let's see. Hang on one second. Hello, 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 everybody. Okay, just a reminder. Michaela, you want to do the reminder for the interpretation because you know
Yeah,
all the tricks.
yeah, absolutely. So we are offering this meeting in English and Spanish. So that means regardless of which of those two languages you want to listen to, if you want to do English or Spanish, you need to go down to the little globe at the bottom right of your screen that says interpretation. If you can't see it, you'll need to click the three little dots that say more, and then you'll see a globe for interpretation and pick either Spanish or English. Then you can hear live interpretation and your questions can be live translated. And I will
Thanks.
put that in the chat too in written instructions.
Thank you. And that was Michaela. And Michaela is our kind of behind the scenes, but not so behind the scenes person. So if you have any questions or needs that you need information or whatever, then just put it in the chat and Michaela will see it and she'll answer and provide you with whatever it is that you need. Okay?
And
All
also
right. So,
throughout the meeting, any other questions you have for Darlene or our speakers can go in the chat as well.
yes, of course. Yeah. So I'm Darlene Hansen, and I'm the lead person on the empowerment team who hosts the Communication Access Connect. And I have my other team members here. One is Michaela. You've kind of met her. And then I have William is here as well. But William, let me do my description because I know you're going to do your description and I want to be right. So my visual description is I'm sitting in front of a green background with the Disability Voices United off to the, what would be my left visually. And I have, I'm in my senior years and I have long shoulder lengths gray hair, red glasses on, whitish, palish old lady skin, and a black blazer with a gray Bruce Springsteen t-shirt on because he's coming in concert in April. Um, so that's Darlene. All right, William, you want to do your thing?
Hello, my name is William Del Rosario, and I am a Hispanic Filipino male in my 20s with short black hair, brown eyes, and I wear glasses. I'm an intern with DVU and a multimodal communicator who uses augmentative and alternative communication, or AAC, via typing and my iPad. Thank you for making the time to be here.
Thanks, William. Okay, so today we're going to do our announcements at the end. But as we said, if you need to choose your language, do that below at the little globe so that you are hearing the presentation in your language of choice. And if you have, and hopefully you have questions, conversational points to make, put those in the chat, okay? We'll take questions or remarks throughout or at the end. We always have a conversation like we always do. And we are recording this so you can watch it later or share it with your friends as well. But today we're going to talk about my voice, my choice. And I think we kind of dance around these topics, the same topic occasionally in other months. But today the conversation came up in my mind because I am seeing so many people that have unique ways of speaking and using their voice now. And I want to make sure that we're all respecting each other's choices and we're advocating for that kind of respect from the communicators rather than the professionals or even the support people making those decisions for individuals. So I invited William Del Rosario, you met him. And then I also have with us today Max Zanana, and he is an intern with us at Disability Voices United, and he'll tell you about who he is and how he does things. And then we have Alexa Guerrero, and she has been a speaker before with us as well. We invited her back to speak on this topic. So let's bring everybody in, Michaela. And we'll get Alexa. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about voice in the sense of maybe even non-speaking voices, but you'll have somewhat of you have your version of your speaking voices, so that's okay. But some people don't even have a speaking voice. But when we talk about my voice, I wanted to hear from each of you, what does that mean to you to say my voice? And whether you be a speaking person or a non-speaking person, just how does that feel, or describe that for us? And why don't we start with you, Max?
So I'm Max. I primarily speak through my own voice. That's the easiest way for me to communicate as I type really slowly.
Great. Are you going to be putting yours in the chat at the same time, Max, or how's that working?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He'll explain that fancy stuff later.
I'm using dictation software to put what I said in the chat.
Awesome. So I'm going to let that kind of come up. Does it come up instantaneously pretty much, Max? It did before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll see in the chat if you're having any, it's easier to understand you once you get to know Max, then you're like, oh yeah, that's what he's saying. So he prefers to use his voice. Yeah, there you go. All right. That makes good sense. How about for you, Alexa? What do you think of my voice meaning to you?
When I use that face, my voice, I think about the life, but the make my own decisions about my life, and know just we bet it back out. My voice represents my independence, my choice, and my ability about what I want. I put in my own life, and I do to be honest.
When I hear the phrase my voice, I think about my right to make my own decisions about my life and have those decisions respected by others. My voice represents my independence, my choices, and my ability to speak up about what I want and need. It means I am the expert on my own life and I deserve to be heard. Having my own voice also means being able to share my opinions, advocate for myself, and participate in decisions that affect my future. This can include everyday choices, like where I want to live or work, as well as bigger decisions about my goals and my dreams. My voice lets me express who I am and make sure I am living the life I choose.
Perfect. Okay, that's great. So I love the interpretations, how they vary for each of us, and you guys are sharing that. How about you, William? What do you think of when you think of my voice?
Having a voice is one of the most fundamental rights a person can have. Early on, a lot of people in my life thought about how they wanted me to communicate or the words they wanted me to learn. While tools and vocabulary are important, my true voice came when I had access to text-based communication and the support I need to access the modalities I choose. A voice with choice and the freedom to use it how and when I want to is the voice I hope people will listen to.
Excellent, excellent. What do you guys, maybe we can start with you outlining, what do you consider your modes of communication? You know, we're all multimodality communicators, right? And so maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you see the varied modes of communication for yourselves. William, you want to go first on that one?
I like to think about myself as a multimodal communicator. Most of the time I type on a Bluetooth keyboard paired to my iPad and AAC app, Proloquo for text. I also point to letters on a letter board when I am using low-tech AEC. Sometimes, I write with pen and paper, use my body and facial expressions for nonverbal communication, and am still learning to speak with my mouth.
Those are multiple modalities. How about for you, Max?
So I primarily speak with my voice, but I use my hands a lot. I might use a speak as to speech app to clarify a word or phrase or use my dictation software as I am doing right now.
Great, perfect. Thanks. Alexa, tell us a little bit about the different kinds of modes of communication that you use.
If you get my beacon ever, I'm ever with repeat what they don't good understand can control with the community that will allow the best myself for the best and the more they are doing right well. Take it away.
I communicate by speaking, and my assistant or whoever I'm with repeats what I say so others can understand me. Currently, I'm working on getting an iPad that I can control with my eyes to communicate. This will allow me to express myself more independently and ensure that the words I share are truly my own without anything added or taken away.
Great, that's great. So we got some high tech and low tech and no tech for all of you. That's perfect. How do you guys choose the right mode for the different situations? Like, do you find yourself ever having to make those choices? Maybe when you're in the community versus when you're at work or school or however that might go. What do you think, Alexa? Do you have to make the right choice at the right time for the right reason?
Yeah, definitely. I with my best on power. Like, understand. I don't think anyone did that. Because familiar with how I communicate with allow me to invest myself for that into better.
Yeah, definitely. When I'm with friends or family, they can understand me, so I don't need anyone to translate my speech. They are familiar with how I communicate, which allows me to express myself more naturally and independently.
But when I am like at work or out in the community, somebody always has to translate for me because people sensitive and just making noise.
Yeah, but when I'm at work or out in the community, I usually have my aides translate for me because people usually think that I'm just making noise
And don't take me seriously.
and they don't take me seriously.
Yeah. I can remember as when I worked in the schools that sometimes a student with cerebral palsy would be in a classroom and they would be making like their vocal noises that would just happen. And then the teachers would say, oh, they're too noisy. And I'm like, you got a room full of fifth graders. How can he be any noisier than anybody else in the room? I don't understand that, you know.
Yeah,
But they would say things like that, right?
yeah, our society is so much education.
Yeah, our society needs so much education.
Yeah, exactly. They need to get a little more creative, don't they? How about William? William, how do you choose the right mode for the right situation?
This can vary depending on my communication partner. Those most familiar with me have come to better understand my spoken speech, and for quick communication, I will use my voice. They know that if they are having trouble understanding me, they can ask me to clarify with my letterboard or iPad. For school and longer communication, I use my iPad. Sometimes when I am with friends, we don't do a whole lot of talking and mostly enjoy being together and the experiences we're sharing, such as a concert, movie, or having dinner together. I think that's important to remember. Don't be afraid to try a new experience as you are learning about how you communicate. People don't talk all of the time.
I think that's really a great point. and either anybody can chime in on that, that we tend to think that people only socialize by talking to each other. And so then we think, oh, you don't have good speech or you don't have a means of communication, so your social opportunities are going to be less. So to remember that it isn't all about talking to people when you're socializing, right? You could be doing things, you could be hanging together, you could be just enjoying each other's company, whatever is however you choose to have a memorable day. And that's a really good point, William. How about for you, Max? How do you choose the right mode at the right time?
I always try to speak first, and when that doesn't work, I'm repeating myself doesn't work. I go to my other strategies like relying on other people or I text to speech and for the quick interactions with random people like servers. You can just point to what you want on the menu, and they are fine with that. For the presentations where it's speaking to a bunch of people like this and conveying my thoughts. I like to put what I say in the chat to make sure everyone knows what I said.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Is that kind of the sequence you go in? Like, I'll speak it, I'll have a friend talk for me or interpret it for me, and then I'll use my technology if I need to? Is that the usual sequence you look at?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great. Perfect. Well, and that leads us to Julisa wrote in here, what kind of apps do you use to communicate? I heard some apps can be difficult to learn. Have you heard of an app called Speakeasy? So we were going to talk about what tools do you use? What are they called? So this is the commercial break. If you're using some kind of technology or your speech dictation app, Max, what are these things called that you're using? today, for example, or just in general, which ones are the most useful to you? You want to go first, Max?
Yes. So my dictation software is called Whisper, and it is you just speak into your computer or phone and it write it down for you, and then the text to speech app I use is called Clarocom, and I either use that or I will just type what I'm saying into the browser, because some people are just more comfortable reading from a familiar app.
And do you use any certain apps for like technology as far as AT kind of things for doing papers or such in school? Are you using any certain typing, word prediction kind of apps, or are you just doing it like any regular stuff?
In the past, I have used word queue, but I stopped
Oh,
using that, and I type normally, or I use my dictation
hmm.
software.
Okay, and then I was thinking about this when you were talking. Your dictation software, did you have to train it to understand your speech at all, or did it just instantaneously in 2026 know these things?
And surprisingly, just knew my speech.
Isn't that crazy?
I typed in a speech dictation for people CP, and it came up that it
Wow.
was for people like me, and I've been using it ever since.
Wow. That's pretty good. I love that. You can put it all in the chat, but basically
Yeah.
he's saying he just typed in like word dictation for cerebral palsy and then found this app and it just understood him. Don't you love technology?
Yeah.
So great. Okay, very cool, very cool. How about for you, William? what are some of the tools that you use?
I always have my tools ready and accessible. For high tech, I have my iPad Pro and Bluetooth keyboard that I use for table or school work. I have a laptop for school assignments and use the Microsoft software and student portal, Canvas, that other students use. I also have an iPad mini with a carrying strap that has my communication app, ProLocal for text, and a letter board on the back of the case. All around the house and wherever I go, I also bring a letter board for a low-tech backup. My communication partner knows they can use a whiteboard or pen and paper with choices if I need them. Technology works great, except when it doesn't. I guess I would say it's important to have both high-tech and a low-tech system as a backup.
Yeah. Those are great. Those are great. William does have quite a, I know your repertoire is large on technology. How about for you, Alexa? What kind of tools are you using?
That comes with my iPad software.
I just use the word
For prediction?
Yeah.
that comes with my eye tracker software.
So you have an eye tracker software.
Yeah. Both my work computer and my personal computer.
Yeah, on both my work computer and my personal computer.
Okay.
But I will be getting an iPad Pro with an iTaco built in this.
But soon I will be getting an iPad that will have an eye tracker built into it.
So I can open to like figure out how to put it on my power shelf
So I'm excited to try to figure out how to put it on my power chair.
Oh yeah.
without making my power shelf wild.
Without making my power chair
Wild.
wider.
Without making your power chair what?
Wild.
Wider, like bigger.
Oh. Yeah.
Because my last communication device was so big.
Yeah, because my last communication device was so big.
I could almost fit in my car.
I couldn't fit in my car with it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So hopefully the iPad is better.
So hopefully the iPad is better.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on where you position it, right?
Yeah.
But you could have an arm that goes in and out, right? And so
Yeah.
that could help. I don't know who these people are, but Tim Jin seems to have people who get very creative with his technology needs as far as figuring out how to put everything in the right place at the right space and all that kind of stuff. Might want to check with him if you need some advice. But that's a fun problem to have, right?
Yeah.
And so you have the eye tracking system is all one unit, right?
Yeah.
That you put into your computer. Okay.
Yeah.
So
But it's just like USB.
Yeah, I plug it into the USB port on my laptop.
oh, okay. Okay.
So
Perfect.
it's like very little. It's just sit on my laptop.
Yeah, it's really small and it just sits on my laptop. Do you want to show it?
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Pretty nice. So who did you get this eye tracking system from?
My reporter got that one for me, but I bought my personal one by myself.
So I bought the one for my personal computer myself, and then my employer, they provided this eye tracker with the laptop they provided me for work.
And like Max, did you just get on the internet and like go to Amazon and say, I want an eye tracker? Or is this specialized equipment?
No, for my work, they got fancy, and they contacted to be diagnosed.
Yeah, so for my personal one that was from Amazon,
Yeah.
but for my work, they were fancy and they actually reached out to Toby Dynavox, which is the brand that makes these eye
Yeah.
trackers.
It was so much better than my personal.
And it works so much better than my personal computer one.
But hey,
I'm sure.
I do what I need to do.
But I'm able to do what I need to do.
I hope that the iPad one is sophisticated enough to match your Tobii Dynavox one. Do you think it will be?
Yeah, they built the Toby into the iPad
Yeah, they built the Toby into the iPad.
Okay.
because it's easy button.
It's called a TD Pilot.
TD Pilot?
Yeah.
All right, very cool. Great, okay. And then Max put in there that his dictation system is called Whisper without an E. All right, WISPR. I might check that out myself. And so Julia had asked if anybody had heard of the app Speakeasy. Have you guys heard of that app? I think I've heard of it, but I don't know it. I was looking it up to see if I could find it in my thing here. Is it a free one, Julia? Oh, here, I found it, I think.
Julisa, you should be able to unmute now. Julisa, if you want to.
Julisa, yeah, sorry, I was
answer.
saying Julia.
Oh, yes. I was trying to type it, but it was too fast. But yeah, the website is aac-plus.com. I heard that one is a
Okay.
little bit more easier one, like to operate and like function, and it has like cool little worlds in there and like little games. Because from what I've heard, especially within the AAC community, is that it's very complicated, and a lot of the parents or like SLPs, when there's like so much training involved to figure out how to like use an app, an AAC app, then they kind of shy away from it. So I want to know like if anybody has like tips when it comes to like introducing like an AAC device. I'm also for like non-tech AAC, but I think tech AAC is very powerful. So I kind of just wanted to hear everybody's opinion with that.
So I'm looking at it right now because I don't know it. I just have heard about it. And it is, I mean, it might be easier to play around with and stuff, especially if you're a little kid. But I don't think when we look at AAC, we look at how robust the system is, which means how much can it grow out for you? And when it grows out for you, are you gonna have to learn a whole new system, or is it really truly just like blooming, right? So I think for this system, and I'm not an expert in this system at all, this Speakeasy, it doesn't look like it's going to be able to grow out a ton, but it might be good for functional communication, like daily life kind of communication, which would be fine. But it probably is not going to be a really robust system unless somebody knows otherwise. It looks like you can it has a lot of visual context to it. So it has like a setting, and then you're in the kitchen and you can press on the fridge to say you're hungry kind of thing, right? That's a cool thing. Those are good. It might be good for teaching people how to use AAC or the act of communication. That might be the best purpose of it, I would think. I don't know if that helps you or not. Yeah, Michaela says it's very affordable.
Well, and above me, Max put his link for Whisper that gives you a month
thanks,
to try
Max.
it for free.
Oh, for free? Is it always free?
No.
Okay, but you can try it.
but my link gets an extended trial.
Okay, download for free and trial it. Okay, cool. Great. I'm gonna save that link. William, we're gonna try that link out for you. I wanna see what it does. Great, okay, so William says also learning literacy was important for me. Yeah. And Max said no, but my link gets an extended trial. Okay, so your link is the ticket. Okay, gotcha. And then William's saying literacy is important, and I think what he's talking about, that Julissa, is that, just because I know you, William, is that you don't want to just have picture-based communication for anybody and then think you're all done, because that the most robust system is 26 letters. So it might also take the longest, but you want to be able to do that when your other system doesn't allow you enough to say. Okay, Defkina, I did the wrong syllables. Let's bring you in. Defkina.
You should be able to unmute yourself now.
Hola, es que sin querer alcé la mano, disculpa.
Oh, okay, that's fine. No problem. Great. Okay. Let's see. We were going to also talk about, well, we were going to say what I use and how they work. You guys kind of did. Did you want to add anything to that? Anybody? William, do you need to add to that conversation? No? No for Alexa? Let me hear William.
Anybody do that?
Yeah.
No? Okay. So how did you guys get these tools? Like, do you know somebody? I hear you're Googling things and going on Amazon. That's creative. But how did you get access to these communication tools? Let's start with you, Alexa.
That is
I wanted to
what
add
we
something.
found before we put on this. That is okay.
Can I add something before we move on, if that's okay?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so with my I get that by myself, so I am able to hook up my iPhone to my computer so I can test by myself.
So with my eye tracker, it allows me to type by myself, and I'm able to hook up my cell phone to my computer, and I can text people through my phone that way.
So you hook up your iPhone to your computer and then use your eye gaze system on your computer to then text.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, great. Okay, very cool. Okay. And then you're gonna, so is that how did you get these different communication tools for yourself, Alexa?
It's just, yeah, important by myself, like I say, when I put the, yeah.
So I did some research first, and then I found the one that I liked and bought that for my personal computer.
And then I tell me, for what I need for a conversation, and they bought it for me.
And then I told my employer that that's what I needed for my accommodations, and they were able to provide that for me.
For my new.
And then, so for my new iPad with the TD Pilot on it, Alta Regional is going to be purchasing that once my SDP budget resets.
So,
And the SDP is a self-determination program.
So, can't you use Medi-Cal for this?
I tried to, but my doctor never got back to me. So now I have to wait 3 more months, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever.
Yeah. That's not right. That does suck.
Get apparently
Before I was able to move my money around in my SDP, but now I guess I can't.
Right, that's becoming a rule. But yeah, I just feel like you should be able to get it through Medi-Cal.
yeah.
Okay, well, where do you live?
But that got me.
I live in Placer County.
Okay. Well, reach out to me if you need any help, because that doesn't sound like it would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so Kathy says, and this might be a question for you, so I'm going to put it in here right now, Alexa. She's tried eye tracking once, but it was so difficult for me because of the unsteadiness of my head due to cerebral palsy. Any suggestions?
How long was that? How long was that? Because I tried because it didn't work, but it got so much better.
I tried that in college, but it didn't work. It's gotten so much better.
So maybe try it again.
So maybe try it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I was thinking too, is it's a whole different system now. It's getting so much more sophisticated and fine-tuned and easier to calibrate.
That I tried on my iPhone does not work because my movements.
The eye tracker that's on my phone doesn't work because of my movements.
Mm.
Yeah.
But that's pretty small. So using a computer's bigger, right?
Yeah.
All right, very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Alexa. How about for you, Max? How did you get your tools?
So originally it was the school system they would hire IT consultants to get me the diagnosis of practices which I hate. And then they get found would queue for me, which I liked a lot better. But now I kind of don't really use that much
Okay.
assistive tech. I like have sticky keys on my computer, but that's about it. And for time to time, I do research and found things like whisper.
Okay. You're just resourceful. So Max could be the AT person for all of us.
Yeah.
While Max is typing that, and then I'm going to go to you next, William. But Alexa, Kathleen's asking, what's the name of the eye tracker that you bought off of Amazon?
It's called
Jack got back,
the Eye Tracker 5.
but I don't recommend it at all.
I do not recommend that one.
You don't recommend it?
No, but
Okay.
it's really to my family. Get out. You get it to work.
It took my friend 10 hours to set it up and try to get it to work.
Oh,
But the PCI is really good.
But the PCI is a lot better.
And you can get that off the 3 Diamond website.
And you can get that one off the Toby Dynavox website.
and that's the TD Pilot one?
No, the PCI.
No, it's PCI. It's the one that you're using.
Yeah.
It's the one I use for my work computer.
Okay, PCI is from Dynavox, Toby Dynavox.
Yeah. And then that was the up to a PC.
And that one will hook up to any PC,
Laptop or computer.
laptop, or computer.
Okay. Thank you. Check that out, Kathleen. Here, we'll wait for Max's text. Alexa, Brenda's comment is 10 hours. Was there not anyone available at the regional center to your friend to set it up properly? No, regional center doesn't actually have technicians, so they have to hire it out. Right?
This is by myself. They did not want to test it.
Yeah, except I bought it for myself. They didn't want to test it.
No, that's I bought it by myself.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to test it because they didn't want to pick it.
They didn't trust it because, I'm sorry,
They didn't want to test.
They didn't want to test it.
they didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
They
Test.
didn't want to touch it because I bought it myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're resourceful. Okay, so Max said originally it was to be the school system that would hire AT consultants to get me Dynavoxes and Vantages and iPads and AAC apps, which I hated. It's floating up there, which I hated. They found WordQ for me, for which I liked a lot back then, but now I kind of don't really use much assistive technology, assistive tech. I like having sticky key setting on my computer, but that's about it. From time to time, I do research and find things that help me. Can you even get WordQ anymore? I'm not sure.
I don't know. It was helpful when I was learning to type, but then it became too distracting.
It became too distracting. So it was helpful when you were using it at that time, but then it became too distracting.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that it's even available anymore. I'm not sure. Oh, look at that one. It talks very fast. Okay. Are you editing it on your end?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Just curious how it's all happening. Thanks. All right, William, what about you? How do you get that?
When I was in public school, it was hard for my parents to convince the IEP team that I needed more than a textbook. My parents bought me my first iPad, and I began to use that at home. Through time, they were able to have the IEP team assess me and eventually approve me for an iPad. Maybe it was because the iPad was brand new, but I hope that it is now easier to get one, or an AAC device if a student needs it. As an adult, when the school district no longer was responsible for providing a device, I used the Voice Options program through the Department of Rehabilitation to trial a few different AAC apps, and they approved me for my iPad.
And then you've had some services from AT people as well, right? For schooling stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you get those through the Department of Rehab or Regional Center or privately, or how? When you do get to meet with AT?
Through DOR.
Okay, through DOR. Okay. So the difference between AAC and AT, just so you guys know, when people talk about AAC, they're talking about augmentative communication. Now, high-tech augmentative communication is technology, but assistive technology as a profession and a discipline of its own is really set up to be more than augmentative communication. It's about accessing things in your home or getting different kinds of technology into your workplace or your schooling, word prediction, or a lot of the things that we do in AT are now becoming universal design, meaning that everybody has access to it, but so less specialized. But it's the AT people that help with all these little shortcuts that people can use as far as schooling goes or living or working experiences. So that's kind of the difference between AT and AAC. But oftentimes people use both, okay? That's a great question, Max. Alexa, Max is asking, how many words can you type per minute with your eye tracking?
Maybe like 10,
Maybe like 10?
but
All right.
it go right up if I want with the doubles.
But it has predictive
Yeah.
text, so sometimes that can help make it a little easier.
Yeah.
For sure. Excellent. That's a good, fun question. So let's see what time we got. Okay, I'm gonna jump around to, have you guys ever had to exercise your right to communicate to anybody? Through your means, rather. I mean, of course, you have a right to communicate, but have you ever had people challenge the way that you're choosing to communicate and saying, I think you would do it better this way, or I need you to do this? Ever had any experiences like that? Anybody?
Yeah, when I talk in my area, people tend to talk to me in that stupid.
Yeah, a lot of times when I speak and my aides help me speak, the other people start referring to me in the third person
Because they assume I am making noise.
because they assume that I'm just making noise
And my aid is talking for it.
and that my aide is talking for me.
The
Oh,
doctor are the worst.
The doctors I've noticed are the worst for this.
okay, that's next month's Communication Access Connect, so good. Um, yeah, it's to have that identified as where's the voice coming from? Is it Alexa or is it your communication partner, right? And then they just start talking to your communication partners. How about for you, Max? Have you ever had that be a situation where you had to advocate for the fact that this is how I am going to do this?
Yes, for sure. A lot of people who are in the sensitive technology space have pushed me to use a device to speak because it's clearer at each time I need to say no. I type really slow. I need to express myself vocally, and some people have a hard time hearing that, which is frustrating. And I've found that when I'm not with anyone else, people understand me better than when I'm with my mom, who can translate for me, which is weird. I'm speaking in English. There's no translation going on. But I that when people are required to talk to me without another person to rely on that conversation goes better than when I'm with someone that can read voice.
Interesting. Interesting. That's a great observation. Write that in there so we can let everybody see it in case people didn't catch it all. This is great. While he's typing there, I'm going to just say, Kathleen says, even regional center doesn't understand to speak directly to the client, not the receive voicer. It's true. Harbor Regional Center has an assistive tech center. Maybe others do too. And that's from Jaffolis, and we need to educate them, Kathleen says. Our work is never done, Kathleen. Okay, so Max said a lot of people who are in assistive technology space have tried to force me to use a device to speak because it's clear at each time that I need to say no. I type really slow. I need to express myself more. Some people have had a hard time hearing me, which is frustrating. I found that when I am, hang on, I gotta find my space. I found that when I am with someone else, people understand me better than when I'm alone.
No,
No, it's not. It's not when you're not with someone else. When you're not with someone else, they understand you better. I got that. When I'm with my mom, who can translate for me, which is weird, I speak English, no translations going on, but I find that when people are required to talk to me without another person to rely on, the conversation goes back to then when I'm with someone can revoice. So I think what you were saying was that when someone else is there to translate, people don't hear you as well. They rely on the translation person. They revoice her. Right. But when you're, oh, go ahead.
Tune me out.
They tune you out. But when you're just one-on-one with a person, they figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're saying how that's kind of interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. Good observation, though. William, how about for you? Have you ever had to speak up for yourself?
It is not always easy asking for help. With my APP team, it has been and is still a process explaining to my team what I need. With practice, they are coming to understand that I need communication training for my staff before I can trust that they will become a good match to support me. There is a lot that goes into keeping me regulated. We use a speech pathologist familiar with text-based AEC for training and then practice our communication together.
Yeah. So constantly explaining yourself and your needs. What I'm going to jump to, just because of the time, and I want to leave a little bit of time to talk about what's been going on in our world this week, as far as communication access goes. But what is your dream system? Is there one, or do you like it the way it is right now? Or is there something like, I wish they really would develop this thing? Anybody have a dream item they wish that someone would invent? William, you have a dream device?
One of the things I would like to try is a more human-sounding voice. Technology has improved, but it's kind of funny when I am with other young adults and have the same voice, Ryan, that the other adult males have.
Too many Ryans in the room. Yeah, so get a personalized voice, huh? I think and what I've noticed, and I think so far what we found is that the systems where you can customize your voice, they don't work on the apps that you have. So that's a problem. Because then you have to learn a whole new app, right? Which doesn't make much sense. How about you, Alexa? Do you have a dream system?
Okay, this is going to make me sound so old.
Okay, this might make me sound so old.
But when I was in college, I went out to it for ages and I almost, so I am like really happy with technology today.
So when I was in college, I would have to wait for my aide to get to me before I could do my homework. So I'm pretty happy with where technology is these days.
I hopefully going to get Chicago, and I am more excited to actually do it all on my own time isn't very.
And I applied for grad school. I'm really hoping that I get in, and I'm excited to be able to do my homework by myself.
And on my own time, and not wait for people.
And on my own time, not have to wait for someone to help me.
So independence is your focus.
Yeah.
Cool. Again, that's a good dream to have. How about you, Alex? Max, rather? Is there anything that you wish technology would provide you?
No,
Not much.
really.
Not much. Really.
What's is pretty much the dream technology for me.
Okay.
Maybe live captioning on Zoom that actually works with my speech would be nice. But other than that, also if there was a technology that could help me speak faster, that would be nice. But I think that's getting into too much sci-fi technology.
I don't know. That sounds realistic to me. It's just about rhythm. You can speed up a recording.
No, I mean like
No, I know. Yeah. Well, I don't think I can't make you speed up.
as it comes out
I know.
of my mouth.
I know.
I don't mean a
I know.
recording.
No, but I'm thinking that they can do it for recording. So maybe like you could just have a speed button on your implant or something, Max, on your
Yeah.
forearm. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, transcribe that for us.
Darlene, while Max is typing, I'm going to jump in really quick before you run out of time just to do the announcements that I needed to do.
Please.
So Vivian is not with us, but we have a couple of STM events coming up in the next few weeks that she wanted me to talk about. So if you guys haven't heard yet, we have a new meeting. It's SDM Connect, kind of like how this is Communication Access Connect. And it is an opportunity to learn more about supported decision making, but to talk about some in-depth supported decision making topics, to connect with other people who are learning how to use SDM, who are practicing SDM. We also have, not this month, but every other month for the rest of the year, we have the legal fellow with ACLU, Britt Bellwine, who's there at ACLU working specifically to help people get out of their conservatorships and to practice SDM. She'll be at every SDM Connect holding like office hours. So if you have any legal questions, you can come in and talk to Britt about them. So I'll put the flyer for that event in the chat. And then we are also going to be starting a new SDM learning series. We did one back in the summer. So this will be kind of like a repeat with a couple new topics, but that's like if you've not heard of supported decision making at all, It's an introduction to supported decision making and how to use it in the most requested areas. So I'll put all of those flyers in Spanish and English while you guys finish up talking.
Thank you, Michaela. Here's what Max said about his dream. No, not really. Whisper is pretty much the dream technology for me. Maybe live captioning on Zoom that actually works with my speech would be nice. That's a good point. But other than that, if there was a technology that could help me speak faster, that would be nice. But I don't think that's getting into too much, but I think that's getting into too much sci-fi technology. And then I talked. No, I mean my speech as it comes out of my mouth. You didn't want a recording. Yeah, I was just daydreaming. Cool. Well, I think this has been a great conversation. I think that people learned some new tricks and some new information about some technologies as well from all of you, as well as got inspired to make sure their own voices are heard. So I want to thank each of you for sharing your stories and your insight and experiences with us. If you guys want to drop anything into the chat to ask either Max or Alexa or William, or just make comments about it, feel free to do that. I did want to take these last few minutes to just talk about, because I know some people might be online about this and maybe not, and that's okay. But one of the regional centers, the San Diego Regional Center, has expressed concern with people, with funding services for communication for individuals who are using spelling, specifically the spellers method, which does require a trained communication partner. And I know this happens everywhere. It's not just San Diego. I get calls from all different kinds of regional centers all over the state. So I want anybody who's had that kind of experience to let us know, either in the chat here or send me an email at my email, which I'll put in here. Arlene at what's my email? Okay, there, blank. Or you can send it to Michaela or both of us if you really want me to answer you. But I do want to know. I want to start gathering this information. Oh, there you go, Michaela. Thanks. I want us to start really thinking about how, and Nina, you're going to be in on this conversation with me, because I really want us to start figuring out how we're going to advocate for the fact that people should not repeatedly be having this conversation about how they communicate and whether or not it's appropriate or evidence-based, or, I mean, there has to be, like, not willy-nilly, but for them to just, the pendulum just be, no, we don't do that. When it comes to communication is not right. And so I really, that's kind of my thing, is for regional center, for us rather, as a group and an organization, to figure out how we can support this theme through the state of California that our individuals are being met with all the time, saying, no, we don't support that, support you in your method of communication. So if you're having that situation wherever you are in California, email us. I don't know what we'll do with it. I don't know, Nina, I didn't even get to talk to you about it yet, so I don't know if you have any thoughts on it. But we're going to have a meeting.
Like Darlene said, and like you all experience, this has just been so frustratingly going on, but it's not consistent, right? There are pockets of goodness, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you run into this ridiculous, almost mindless wall of, like, not evidence, but you just want to scream. But there's got to be the more we know what's happening out there. That's what I think you're getting at, Darlene. It really helps. It helps because then a lot of times I think there's a way of repurposing or reframing how people think about this. And that's what I think, we could come up with all the counter evidence things in the world and it wouldn't work. But if we can get people to reframe the way they think about this, I think we could get somewhere. But we do need those examples. We've been collecting them for years in a way, but what's going on right now, it would be good to have an updated sense of it.
Yeah, because I think there's things happening right now that it's being addressed in a little bit more official way for certain individuals. Like things are being sent out as this is our position, and for different individuals, and their position is resulting in the person not having access to their means of communication, and so that's not okay. But I think reframing what we're trying to get at and the significance of it is a good way of maybe putting a positive spin on it, so we don't have to be so angry, but yet we can be productive and helpful to the whole process. Because as we all know here, communication is a basic right. It's not an option to say no to, right? William says, I'm looking forward to a time when it is assumed everyone can and has a right to communicate. So much time has been spent proving this right. I would like to see that shift away from questioning a person's choice and voice towards wanting to hear what they have to say. Yeah. I would like to see that shift too. That's what I really think. I think you're right, William. That's, again, perfect words. But the idea that we're still having this conversation is kind of frustrating. So I want to try and help not make that necessary anymore for people. Okay, so stay tuned. Send us your needs and your ideas and your thoughts, and we'll just kind of we'll probably just say thank you and start putting them all together, and then Nina and I will meet with our powers to be in the very near future here and see if there's something that we can move forward with this on, have some meetings or something that we've tried to do in the past, but let's start having them again.
And Darlene,
Okay.
did you want to mention what we're doing next month?
Oh, so next month, yes. Next month, Communication Access Connect, we're actually, and this was just kind of happening at the same time that we were doing the SDM monthly sessions, but we're going to cover SDM in our session next month. And in that conversation, I'm inviting a woman who's a nurse practitioner she has a great tip about how to prepare yourself for talking to the medical field specifically, so that you're maybe a little less rushed through your appointments and a little more heard, okay? So we'll talk about that in a session on supported decision-making in our session in Communication Access Connect, okay? We're not combining because it's too early to combine them yet, so we're just gonna double up. So that's next month, and it'll be on March, what number, Michaela?
It should be the 17th. If February works the way I think it does. Let me confirm.
You might be right.
It's the
It does,
17th
huh?
again.
Right, it's
March 17th. Is that St. Patrick's Day?
correct.
Ooh, okay. So after this, you can go out and drink green beer. Okay, next month. And have your, whatever that is that we eat at St. Patrick's Day. Corned beef and hash, right? All right, everybody, have a great week and month. And thank you again to Max and Alexa and William for sharing your stories. And please do interact with myself or Michaela telling us your needs, because we want to start making some conversations happen. Okay? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you to the translators. Thank you.